Hello, it's Phillip Taylor speaking from Richmond Green Chambers in London. This morning I'm looking at a book which has come to us from TOLLEY'S, LexisNexis, and it's an important book. It's a big book. It's called TOLLEY'S Property Taxation 2014 to 15, and it's been written by a large number of individual contributors, which I'll show you their names in a few minutes. Elizabeth and I have reviewed this book and had a discussion about it because it's an important area, bringing together quite a lot of different areas of taxation. More about that in a minute. The title we've given it is the latest edition from TOLLEY'S, an accessible guide to property taxation for experts and non-experts alike. Now this is the book. It's a heavy book. It's a paperback, front, spine and the back. Now the contributors are all listed at the back. You can see there are a large number of them there. I can't really go through all the names, unfortunately. There's a little bit on the inside back cover, a bit of advertising, and a little bit on the front as well. They like doing that now at TOLLEY'S. Now let's just go through it. The back, you've got the rather a little bit the other way round here. You've got the index, very much the house style of TOLLEY'S, but you've then got at the back, you've got the table of statutes and statutory instruments right at the back. You've also then got right at the back a large number of the table of cases, very substantial number of cases mentioned. Then we get into the bulk of the book. It's well over 1,000 pages long, about 1,100, something like that. You've got paragraph numbering, which you can see at the sides there, again on the left hand side, not the right hand side, this one. And there isn't much, in fact there are no footnotes as such. But let's go to the front of the book itself. There's the actual front page. Then you've got about this book. Always read with TOLLEY'S about this book in case they've changed anything around. Sometimes you'll think, where are the cases? And you find they're at the back rather than at the front. But do have a look. Then the list of all the contributors. I'll just run through them. I'm not going to name them, but you can see the information. A lot of learned persons, people with a lot of substantial knowledge and a great deal of expertise which they're imparting to us. Then there are the abbreviations, which you can see there. Again, very helpful. References. It's so easy to forget what something refers to. Then you've got the contents, a lot of information there, and the contents run through for a few pages, looking at all the various areas of taxation. Then we go to the introduction, chapter 1, and again you see what we've got. We've got a heading, and then you go into chapter 2, and then again the heading, and then you've got the paragraph numbering which starts. And as I said, it's a heavy book. Actually nice paper too. It's good paper, so it won't tear. One of the problems I've always had with some of these very flimsy, the paper's very flimsy sometimes and it needs to be quite strong. It's so easy to rip it if you're not careful. Now, Elizabeth and I say this about the book. We say, where there is property, there is taxation. If you are in any way involved in property or in a business where property is an issue, you need this latest edition of Property Taxation 2014-15 from TOLLEY'S, part of the LexisNexis organisation. Advice and guidance on every tax that's applicable to property transactions and or the occupation of property is provided in this book. As the various forms of taxation pertaining to property are so numerous, here's the complete list so that you know what's in it. Stamp duty land tax, capital gains tax, inheritance tax rather, value added tax, income tax, annual tax on envelope dwellings, and of course don't forget the business rates. All areas covered in this volume are there in a logical order for you to find, so they're not too difficult. Just make sure that you find the particular area. Use the index if necessary at the back. It's very much the house style again for LexisNexis. Other areas of concern are also dealt with here, including Islamic tax structures, rental investments, capital allowances and more. So it's trying to give you as much as you need in terms of anything to do with property and the taxation of it. Published by the ever reliable TOLLEY'S, this book is bang up to date with a considerable amount of new material. So you really do need to get the new edition to stay abreast of current developments. This one is 2014 to 15. For example, all the developments in property tax that have come about as a result of the Finance Act 2014 are included, together with commentary on recent case decisions. Obviously, we have a general election on the 7th of May 2015. I'm recording this in February 2015. We'll have to see what happens. There'll be a budget and there could well be some substantial changes. So a new edition will come in due course. Now, a formidable team of experts have contributed to this book, over 20 of them in total. Most are either tax barristers or solicitors or consultants from top accountancy firms such as PricewaterhouseCoopers, Ernst & Young, Deloitte and KPMG, as well as smaller boutique consultancies specialising in tax affairs. In pointing out, it is now impossible for any one individual advisor to know all the rules and regulations relating to the taxation of property because of its variety, challenge and continuing change. The publishers have therefore highlighted the major benefits offered by this book, and I think that's the area that we're all mainly interested in, certainly at the current time. Over 1,100 pages, in fact, in length. This is a work of reference which you as a tax advisor can dip into whenever you have a question or whenever you require access to vital tax information. As and when an issue of property taxation arises, this book is an authoritative source that can help you confirm and enhance the quality of the advice you provide to clients, whatever the level of your experience. Let me just conclude by saying, to save you time, paragraphs are numbered throughout, and there's a detailed table of contents and a table of cases, statutes, statutory instruments and European legislation. The publication date is cited at 2014. Excuse me again. Here's the book. I'll show it again. And the spine at the back. It's a heavy book for 1,100 pages. Just opening it in the middle. VAT. There we go. You see what's in there. Again, the paragraph numbering. You can find what you want. There are exemptions that are listed there, for instance. Again, very useful. It's a very detailed book, and it's a very important book. I'm very grateful to all the contributors. We can't do our business as lawyers and as advisors without having this sort of publication. I can remember the days when we just didn't have this sort of information readily available in the quantity and the way we do today. So I'd like to thank TOLLEY'S for their tremendous efforts in supporting us as people doing the operational job, if you like. It's very good of you to produce this stuff, and it's extremely helpful. It's also very well written, so thank you, because it's logical. You can find the stuff. Once you know your way around, you can find the stuff very quickly. So thank you to all concerned, the contributors particularly, for a huge amount of work involved in this. Thanks. Bye-bye.